Hey y'all, today I'm going to be making some fig nut bars out of this vintage cookie cookbook. And this is going to be a video for Vicky's Country Home collaboration. It's called the Family Memories Monday Collaboration. So my mom and I would sit down at the kitchen table or on the couch when I was a little girl and go through this cookbook and decide which cookies we were going to make out of here. So this holds so many precious and dear memories of where my love for baking and cooking came from. Even though my mother doesn't do any cooking these days, she's gotten too old and it's hard for her to do, unfortunately. But she enjoys the things that I bring to her, and I have to credit her for when I was so young to encouraging me to learn to cook and bake. So alright, we're gonna get our ingredients together for this and we'll get started on it. So what we're gonna need for our fig nut squares is 2 eggs, which I've already got in the bowl, half a cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1½ cups of finely chopped up dried figs, and 1 cup of chopped nuts. So you can see I already got my eggs in here, and I've got my oven preheating. It says to 350. I'm going to put mine at 325 because mine runs a little hot. It wants me to beat the eggs till foamy, and then I'm going to add the sugar and the vanilla in here. So let me get my figs cut up and we'll be right back. Okay, while I was dicing up figs, I went ahead and let the eggs be beaten up a little bit. I'm just using a package of Great Value dried mission figs. It's about 7 ounces worth. Let me scooch you back for a minute. Let's see, it's not quite 1½ cups, but you know, close enough, and that's good enough for finely chopped for me. I'm not going to worry and be that specific about it. So scooch you back up. So to this, get you lined up there, I'm going to go ahead and add my half a teaspoon of vanilla. And half a cup of sugar. Sugar out. It's the one thing I didn't get out. Okay. Turn that back on. I'll let it be mixing. Now, in doing your flour, it wants you to measure by the dipping method, which means kind of fluff your flour up a little bit and take a spoon and put it in the measuring cup. Or you can sift it until you have half a cup. Because it does make a difference if you just dip it in there. It kind of gets compacted down compared to spooning it out and kind of fluffing it up a little bit. So I've already mixed my dry ingredients up in a bowl. So I've got the half a cup of flour and the baking powder and salt, half a teaspoon of each, and I put about half a teaspoon of flax seeds in here that I had. I don't have the bag out with me, but I just wanted to see if it, you know, add a little healthy something in there, and see if I could taste it or if it changes the taste any. It's been a long time since I've had these cookies. If I've had them, I can't remember. Too long ago. But anyway, now that we've got the egg mixture all done, we're going to start adding the flour mixture. And I've greased up, it calls for a 9x9, 1 3/4 inch pan. I have an 8x8x2. Spatula out so we can knock some of this flour down and get it mixed in here good. Okay, got that mixed in pretty good, and now we are going to add our figs in here. Do it on this side and a little bit on that side. Sorry, I'm blocking your view. There you go. And it wants a cup of nuts. I don't take a knife and chop mine. I just break them up. I'm going to measure out a cup of these. I like to keep them in the fridge handy for just when I have a spur of the moment baking spurt like this. Alright, there we go. Mix that in. Okay, that's pretty good. Over here I've got my grease pan, and I just heard my oven click off, so it is preheated and ready to go, and we're making a mess. And while I was reading over this recipe, I noticed another one on the column right next to it, and I thought, oh my gosh, these are raisin crisscross cookies. I'm gonna have to make those because they sound wonderful. Alright, let me get rearranged. Okay, let's get the batter, and these are, it's not a lot of actual batter to it, which I kind of like, so it means you're really going to be able to taste the figs and the nuts in here, which suits me just fine. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like going into the oven. So we're going to put it in there to bake for 25 to 30 minutes, and then we'll pull it out to cool, and we'll be back then. And excuse Jack in the background. 20 minutes, and there we are. Really simple, easy recipe to put together. I'm going to let these cool off a little bit and cut them, and we'll do a taste test in just a bit. Got these cooled off enough now to try a bite, and they turned out really good. They feel soft. Let me give you a little close-up of that. Sorry, I've lost my lighting, so it's a little dark in here, but I'm going to give it a taste. Very good. Really, that was plenty of figs in there. The 7-ounce bag that I showed you, more than enough. You could probably add walnuts to this if you prefer walnuts or some other type of nuts. You could also use dates in place of figs if you wanted to. But these are really good. I think these will make a really nice snack treat. They say that they're chewy, and they are. They're a little chewy, moist and rich, and yeah, they're yummy. I would eat this whole bar right now if I wasn't already so full from dinner. But there you go. Thank you for, goodness, go swell. Sorry, I needed a sip of tea. As I said, this is for the Family Memories Monday collaboration, and this entire cookbook for me is part of my family memories. As I said, I just will always cherish the time I had with my mother and going through this cookbook and picking out what we were going to do together when I was a little girl. And this is still one of my favorite cookbooks of all. It was published in 1963, so it's been around a while. If you ever see one of these in a thrift store, I highly recommend you grab one, especially if you're a fan of cookies like I am. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Vicki, for putting on this collaboration. I'll put a link to Vicki's channel. Go check her out. She's got some great stuff going on over there. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll answer you as soon as I possibly can. Happy cooking, everybody.